Hello, I'm Dr. Hightower, and I posted a post on last month regarding a series that I was going to do called Bad Rap and Conceived in Deception. And so this will be the first week that I'm going to discuss the first series topic, which is called Minding Your Own Business. The scripture that I'm going to, which is our main scripture, is Matthew 6b, and I'm going to read that to you. It says, David was the father of Solomon, whose mother had been Uriah's wife. And so I got to meditating on that, whose mother was Uriah's wife, and me, the inquisitive person that I am, I'm like, why didn't they put her name there, and why did they use the mother of Uriah's wife? And so I began to go a little bit deeper, and I end up in 2 Samuel 11, and this is where my first week is going to talk about minding my own business, and this is 2 Samuel 11, 2 through 14. I'm not going to read that, but you guys can go and read it. But my main thing, let me just give you a backdrop of the scripture. David was the king, and Bathsheba was married to Uriah. Uriah was a part of David's army. And so at the time that David saw Bathsheba, she was minding her own business. She was in the court taking a bath. And the reason why, what one commentary says, the reason why she was taking a bath, because she had just gotten off her period. So she was purifying herself. Now, David, the king that he is, he was way up in at the top, and looking down, saw uh, Bathsheba taking a bath. Now, my question is, I mean, why was his courts looking down at the bath where people take baths? But of course, that's another issue. But the backdrop of this text, which is 2 Samuel 11, 2 through 4, is where he saw Bathsheba down there minding her own business and taking a bath. And so the first thing he did was he summoned her. Now, David is the king. He can get any woman he wants. But why would you want to get this particular woman? And this woman was married, and her husband was in your army. And so this is where my study led me into someone in authority and power who has the power to do anything that he wants. And so he summons this particular woman, and her, knowing that he's the king, I'm pretty sure in her mind she probably thought, if I don't come, or if I don't subject myself to what he is saying, that consequences could happen. And the number one consequences she was worried about, well, maybe her husband being in his army, that there could be consequences. So she complied to his summon, and I'm pretty sure in her mind she was all confused. And so my question is, what do you do when you have no choice? What do you do when someone in power and authority has summoned you, or has asked you to do particular things? And the consequences is maybe losing a job, maybe losing a contract, maybe losing a friendship, and maybe even losing your dignity. And so I'm pretty sure Bathsheba, if she would have cried out, that no one would have believed her, because David was the king, remember? And so he was a person in power. And so what do when you have allowed someone to violate you? Because in some commentary it says that this could have been rape. This could have been a molestation because she really didn't want to come. But because he was king, she had to subject herself to his summon. And so, what do you do when you have allowed someone to manipulate you, to use their power and authority, but you keep quiet in fear of no one believing you, in fear of this person who has this power and who has this authority? And so I'm reminded of Jeffrey Epstein's case, and the lady who was working with him was luring these young girls to him, and of course in their minds, you know, they're trying to be stars or in entertainment or whatever the case may be, and so they thought this may have been a good opportunity, but at the same time, Epstein used his power and authority to take advantage of these young girls, and so they remained quiet for years and years because, as you saw, a lot of these young girls now are older ladies now, and so you know you keep quiet because of the consequences. And a lot of women keep quiet because of the consequences. No one will believe me. No one will. I mean, this person has this power and this authority, and in a minute he can do something that could damage my reputation. So I just want to let you know and encourage you that there is hope, and that we as women, we have to lift our voices, open our voices to the things that are not right, that are not ethically right to someone in leadership. I was also reading Dean Luggett and Logan Necker. They wrote this paper called the Bathsheba Syndrome, the ethical failure of successful leaders. And so it talks about how when leaders become successful, that they fail ethically. They have not learned how to unrestrain their controlness and their manipulation, and so they lose focus in remembering how they got there, and then they use their privilege to gain access to others, which leads to abuse. So I want to encourage you and empower you, women, lift your voices. Now, remember back in the day with Bathsheba, she couldn't have said anything, but now we can talk. We have a voice. And so I want to empower you and encourage you to use your voice when there are unethical situations with those that are in power and authority over you. And so the first thing on the outer part, yes, is use your voice, but you also want inside, you want to forgive yourself because it's not your fault. You did nothing wrong. And so you have to learn how to trust God and forgive yourself. And once you forgive yourself, you'll be able to forgive that person. And, know that God's grace, he will forgive you. So this is the first series, minding your own business. Bathsheba was minding her own business, and I know some of you might have mind your own business, and then here we go. Somebody has used their authority and their power to manipulate the situation, and their controlness over you because they have that authority and that power. So you have hope. Trust God. Forgive yourself. That's the main thing. Forgive yourself, and then forgive them, and then let God do what he has purposed you to do and what he has called you to do. Life is not over. You're still here, and you have purpose. So join me next week, and we're going to talk again in a series about Bathsheba. This is the first week, and I pray that you have gotten something out of this, and knowing that you do have a voice. And if you want to join me and my Facebook community, Destiny Grabbers Women Gathering, I'm on YouTube, Dr. Tanya Hightower. I also have another group of Destiny Grabbers Women's group that's in my neighborhood app. It's called Destiny Grabbers, and we have quite a few women that are in the group. And so if you want to join me, you can join me. And if you want to talk, feel free to DM me, and we will talk, and I will give you one-on-one encouragement and empowerment. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.